Hello, 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 Capricorns. How you guys doing? Welcome. I'm doing an evening reading, which is not very common, all right? But hopefully this will find you well and healthy. It is full moon today that I'm recording this on. This is the 16th, but this is a reading for the 21st through the 27th. So while I'm doing this reading, if you know anything about the full moon, the energies hang around about 3 days before, 3 days after. So if you haven't seen the full moon reading that I've done with all the planets, go ahead. There is a link down below. You're very welcome to watch that because it will affect you for the next couple of weeks. All right. So this again is for the 21st through the 27th. It is a general reading. It may resonate with you. It may not. However, this is a divine reading. So what that means is I call in if there's something he wants to say for you, answer a question. Maybe you're struggling with something. This is for you. And this is his card and deck. This is the only deck I use for him because it is prayed over so that only love and light comes through, and anybody of his angelic realm. All right, so let's get started. So Capricorns, not sure what's going on with you, but there must be something new or unstable or uncertain, maybe something new that you're trying to do. This is to bring yourself to your higher self. Pay attention to it from more of a spiritual aspect than a earthly bound thought process. So bring in wisdom rather than knowledge. This is something that you need to be paying attention to because it is the number 5. All right. Hey, Maria, welcome. Long time no see. How are you doing? This is the higher view. This is where you're going to take yourself to the next level. This is where you might be asking yourself questions. This might be looking deeper into something for yourself. This is getting to your root chakra or your heart chakra, where your spirit and your soul lie, and asking that. This is typical of the full moon and the planets that are going on right now because we got two energies because of Mars, Venus, and which other one? Uranus. Those 3 planets are playing a lot with the full moon and the sun right now. So that's like either annoyance or it's a lot moving forward. It's just sort of a tug of war kind of a thing going on right now. So really pay attention to that inner self, that higher self, rather than this thing here called knowledge. All right. The universe or the planets is the word Lord. This is about communication, praise, and dishonesty. So it's sort of, again, that tug of war. Are they being honest? Are they being dishonest? That kind of a thing. It is the number 7, which is about your potential and ambition. The higher self is going to be a little different for you because this is the number 5. So somebody who really doesn't dig deep into themselves, doesn't really pay attention to their inner self. It's like you're almost being distracted with too much noise out there, the world's noise. They're paying attention to the social media, the TV, the news, the COVID stuff. They're paying attention to all this noise, and that is really hard for somebody to try to hone in on themselves. Okay, so it's like a novice energy. I really need to be thinking deeper about what I want, not what everything's going on out there. That kind of energy. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do this spread here. So also we've got the word Lord, definitely praise, okay, to a higher person, a higher authority, that kind of a thing, communication. So somebody might be having some more communication of somebody that is of a higher authority. Now that could be, you know, if you're, boy, I got to be careful because I'll get myself in trouble with this. It could be like your boss, could be like a friend who you respect and admire, that kind of a thing. It could be in a relationship. Usually the masculine has more authority only because they're usually played as the head of the house or the head of the relationship. You would hope that they take the lead. Some don't, but that's why I gotta be careful. And that's why it says the word praise, because we usually praise somebody for leading us in good things, not, directing us down and wasting our time and our money and everything like that. That's why we get into a relationship of that nature. Again, this is also potential about that relationship and the communication. Communication is key in a relation. Trust and communication. So honesty and truth. What do I always say? Absolute truth, right? Truth comes number one, because then you have that honesty, that integrity. You don't have to worry. All right. But if you don't have truth, then it can create a lot of different things. Problems. It can create problems. Oh my, Capricorns. What is going on? You're all over the place. Holy Toledo. You're all over the place. I feel like I heard the word scramble and I saw scrambled eggs. It's like somebody's just all over the place. It's like they can't get their grounding. Holy Toledo. The wonderful thing is that there is something really potentially good here. And Divine is saying, pay attention to that right now. Because somebody gets very fearful when things are too good. They're like, okay, when's it going to fall apart? When's it going to not last? When's it going to fall apart? Okay. But this here has the potential to go very, very far. Because it's the number 10 in numerology. So it has the potential to go very far. You got to be really careful, because we got that is a number 10. And then we also have your future card, your goals and your ambitions. It's like you want to kibosh them. It's like, oh, it's too good to be true. It's not. Go for it. Go for it. Definitely have some trust issues, because we have the King of Swords in your past, which means that there's some trust issues. Maybe somebody wasn't very truthful. You might have been very truthful and somebody wasn't. Definitely your future is more this is that full moon and Uranus energy, Mars energy. Your future is there going up, but you're like, I don't know. So there's some pain in there. Definitely some pain in there. It's like this number, it's the 3 of swords with this pain. It's like you're working on healing, but it's just not there. It's like you start healing from some pain. I don't know what it is. This is, like I said, you're all over the place right now. But you're starting to heal, and then doubt comes in. Oh, this is just, forget it. I just give up. It's like, I'll just quit dating. I'll quit dating because you know what? It's never going to happen for me. And then you're just like, then you'll get back. You'll get your feet on the ground again. You'll start going to your higher self, believing in yourself. And then all of a sudden, that good old low vibrational energy will be that tornado just sucking you back down again. Okay, but you are working hard. Definitely working hard. Okay, so I can say you can have anything. Okay, with the 7 or the 9 of Cups, you can have anything. It's really intense energy with the 9. Okay, the 9 is definitely an intense energy. It's about getting there. You have the number 8 that is definitely about your progress. Somebody's making progress, but it's like somebody just pulls you back down again. A lot of potential and ambition here. This is definitely the full moon energy. With this full moon, it means to leap forward, to go for it. It's uncomfortable, but that's going to your higher self. It's like every time my ability grows, with my supernatural ability, I call it, but every time it grows even a little bit and I get to see or hear, or it's like, what was that? Yeah, it gets a little uncomfortable, like, is that just me or is it ever? But then we get that low vibrational, but I'm like, no, Divine allows you to see things or hear things or do things in increments so that we're not afraid, or that, we're comfortable. It's not so scary, that kind of a thing. And that's where you've got to realize that the past is the past. Okay, whoever was dishonest, whoever wasn't nice, whoever was could have been abusive, a more stronger authority, masculine. I feel like there's a masculine authority over somebody. That is very terrifying to break through, definitely. But you can do it. But I've been there. Okay, so when you're little and somebody has authority over you that you have no control as a little person, you definitely feel powerless. Okay, I don't know who that is. Your challenge card, though, however, is to look in the future to bring this together and bring balance back and peace back, and really think about the positive, the praise, the communication. How can I get through this? Talking to yourself. Okay, this is self-talk, self-growth, that you can have what you desire. You can have the things. This again is getting you to your higher self, another level of your higher self. Okay, it is work. Getting your ducks in a row. You've got the 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. It is work. Somebody is actually working hard on it. It's not comfortable. It's painful. And that's okay, because you got to go through the pain to see the rewards. Okay, because you've got the number 8 twice here. You got the number 10. Get rid of the stuff you don't need, that it isn't working. And I'm going to say that's the negative thinking for somebody. Okay, that's the self-doubt, the self afflictions, the self low worth, this low self-esteem. Definitely you need to praise yourself up and stop being dishonest to yourself, because this is actually not truth. Okay, and again, that's why these two cards, the universe and the divine's card, go together, is because being dishonest or not truthful to yourself, you have value, you should have self-esteem, you are a beautiful person, you are made of love, and that's what divine sees you as. That's the thing, is communication with yourself is number 1. Okay, number 1. If somebody's in a relationship or starting a relationship, definitely have to have the communication, and this low self-esteem, low vibrations, low feeling of self needs to go away. And that happens in healing. Okay, I don't know who that's for, but it does happen in healing, because you can't see all the things that you want and desire. I mean, you can see them, but you're like, oh, that's not for me. Yes, it is for you. Trust me, it is for you. And you can have the things that you want and desire. Now, it might not be in your timing. It might be in divine's timing, which could be tomorrow. If there was one, I had to laugh the other day because I would say, well, I'm not this. And I'm like, and then I'm like, you know what? That's not truthful, divine. I am that. And I got like a phone call almost immediately, because I acknowledged something about myself that I was not being truthful about. Because at that moment, my thought process was, well, no, I'm not that. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, yeah, I am that. So I need to share that with divine. And he needed to hear me verbalize that I am. And within minutes, I had like a phone call. I was like, wow, how did that work? Because I was honest and truthful with myself of feeling that I was having that was very low vibrational, and I needed to nip that in the bud, because that wasn't being honest, and that wasn't praising and lifting myself up to my higher self. I don't know if that makes sense to somebody, but I had to stop it immediately. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. All right. Let's see what else divine has. I don't want those. Let's see what else divine has. I don't know what this is. I don't know who this is for. And he keeps asking me to do the 3 of, this is basically your fears. Fears are your hopes. and acknowledging it. So again, see, this was my fear of maybe not being as honest with myself again, going back to those old ways of like, oh well, yeah, I'm stronger than that. No, I wasn't stronger in that moment, and I needed to be honest about it. It's okay to say you're weak or you're hurting or you're just not yourself. All right, so let me see what he's saying about that Three of Swords. Oh my gosh, I do this all the time. Ace of Pentacles, the World, the Hierophant. Yeah, somebody needs to be definitely in touch with themselves in a deeper sense. The Hierophant is the spiritual being. This is your heart chakra. This is your spiritual. This is getting deep, deep down to your spiritual self and being honest with, because Divine already knows. He already knows. You got to be honest with yourself. When you're honest with yourself and you can speak it in honesty, it's like saying, well, I'm not afraid. And then you're really afraid. You just, yeah, I'm scared out of my boots that I'm afraid. That kind of a thing. That's being honest and vulnerable and transparent. And it's okay. That's what the Divine is saying. Okay, the Hierophant. And definitely, you have so many opportunities coming your way that the world is definitely at your feet. But you got to be able to see that. You got to be able to see it. You got to be able to feel it. Envision it. When you envision something, you can make it happen. Because then you send that energy forward. You send that energy out. You've heard it before, send it out to the universe. That's actually got some conduit to it, because we are energy. So a law of attraction, if you want love, be that love, and the thing is, it will come to you because you definitely have it. So you have to be able to see it. All right. You have to be able to see it. If you see it, you can believe it, you dream it. Again, this full moon, you got to remember, this is a tug of war between fantasy and reality. That this tug of war that's going on with the full moon and the planets. You got to, if fantasy is good, but if that fantasy can become a reality, like if you were thinking with your partner, if you're with a partner and you're like, oh, I'd like to be, the pirate, do some role playing and be the pirate, and I'd like him to be my, captor or whatever. That's fantasy. But can it become reality? Sure you can. You can rent costumes and you can play and do all that kind of stuff. But if you're saying like me, oh, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm not good at science. I'm not good at math. And I am too old to be an astronaut. That's the fantasy I'm talking about. It can't be reality. Does that make sense? All right. All right. Let's see what else. Divine, is there anything else you would like me to share with Capricorns today? There's a lot going on. They are just all over the board. I'm going to tell somebody, if you're all over the board right now, and if your emotions are all over the place, that's the full moon. However, bring yourself down to some grounding. Okay, get yourself grounded. Well, Patty, how do I do that? Get in a quiet place and breathe and just sit for 5 minutes. No phone, no people. Like this, I always go to my car. No people, no phone, no TV, no distractions, and just sit and breathe. And just really just relax for a minute. Because when we do that and it's quiet, that's when Divine can come in either with a thought, a word, or an energy, or a calmness, or whatever it is that you need. Okay? That's what he does. That's how he does it. He can't do it in noise. Can't do it in distractions. Can't do it when the kids are screaming. Can't do it when people are all over the place. This is why there is no stability here. That's why it's the number 5. Okay? You're not in the moment. You're not in your inner self. You're not in stability. Again, this is the number 2. Balance is off. 2 of Pentacles. Balance is off. Balance is way off for you guys. You're all over the place. If I showed you the right waiter deck, it's almost like the jester just juggling, and that's the energy I'm getting right now. The only way to do it is bring it back to the base, bring it back to peace and calmness. The way that you do that is you every day just sit somewhere for less than 5 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 2 minutes, even if it's in the shower by yourself, and just breathe and take it easy, because you're all over the place and the communication's being thrown off and things are being misconstrued. Okay. And then some Capricorn is over analyzing and overthinking too much, which creates a mess. So when we stop analyzing and stop and just go with the flow and actually go with the facts, again, this is that tug of war between the full moon and the planets, is we go with the facts. Just say, you know what, I'm not going to assume anything right now. I'm going to go and ask. I'm going to get the information. I'm going to get the facts. This will create a calmness and a peace, because now I really know the facts. And if you're afraid to go to find out the facts, that you're afraid it might hurt, it's okay, because if it does, then that means that somebody's either doing it in love or they need to go away. Okay. And what I mean by that is you don't want people in your life that are not for you. So if they're not for you, they're against you. So you want people in your life that are for you. And again, to bring you calmness and peace and lifting up. If there's toxic and there's fighting and there's arguing and there's confusion, that is the low vibrational, that's the shadow side trying to just come up. You need to squish it down by just going somewhere quiet, breathe, think, and go deep inside your spirit and feel what your spirit needs and do what your spirit needs. All right, Capricorns, all I can say is you'll get through it and things will be fine. Trust me, I know you will. I've been there. It's been like I've been scattered before. So I don't know who this is for, but it will be fine. Again, the challenge for you is to think of the future. Think of the future with what you want to bring together. What is your priorities? What is, say, pick your 2 top priorities and look to the future, and how does that look? How is that going to feel? And how are you going to make it happen? That is the number. That's your challenge for this week, because right now somebody doesn't want to. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Alone time is really not, alone time is not a want. It's a need. You have to do it. You really, really do. Even if it's 5 minutes a day. If you can get that, or, just a few minutes a day. We deserve that for ourselves, for our mental health, our physical health, and our spiritual health. We really, really need to do that, to think. And sometimes we don't even want to think in there. You're just going to sit. Well, what do I think about? Nothing. Let divine come in. Nothing. Let intuition come in. Nothing. And that's really, really hard to do. But once you train how to do that and allow your brain to do that, you will see amazing things happen. I used to do that in martial arts, where you just sit and breathe and not think. And you'd be amazed at the supernatural things that happen, and the things that you see or you feel, or your auras or energies begin to change. Again, that's going to your higher self. When you do that, that's your higher view. It's uncomfortable because it's new, and it's like, oh, I'm too busy to take 5 minutes. If you're too busy to take 5 minutes from yourself, then again, the balance is off. You got to get in balance with yourself. Balance is sharing your time with others, but also having time for yourself. That's mental health and spiritual health, and physical health too, because the more stress you have, the more sicknesses you can have. All right. So I hope you have a great, great week. Thank you, Maria, for coming. And also, too, please don't forget to subscribe if you aren't subscribed, so that you can have a free reading or a free coaching. I would love to give that to you as a gift by Divine. That's his thing. But don't ever forget to like, and then share. All right. So I hope you have a great week, and we will see you on your next reading. And thank you for popping in. It was so good to see you again. I haven't done readings at night, so it was really good to see you again. Take care. Bye-bye, guys.